Today's lesson is on quotients of powers property. When dividing powers with the same base, keep the base and subtract your exponents. So, just like the other two lessons, I really like this one because you can see why this works. If you have 7 to the 5th divided by 7 to the 3rd, what this property says is, oh, okay, all you have to do is take 7 to the 5 minus 3, which is going to be 7 to the 2nd power, which is going to be 49. Why this works. Think about this. If you have 5 7s in your numerator, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you have 3 of them in your denominator, 2, 3. Anytime you have a 7 over 7, this is a 7 divided by 7, it's going to equal a 1. You're taking out these factors, these common factors, taking out a common factor, taking out a common factor. You're left with just 2 7s up in your numerator. So the way this property works is that instead of writing everything out like a times a times a over a times a, simply state, oh, okay, well, it's the same thing as taking a to the 3rd minus 2, which is going to be to a to the 1st power, which we do simplify again and just say that it is a. So in number 13, you have 14 g's in your numerator, you have 9 g's in your denominator. So cross out your common factors, and you're going to have g to the 14th minus 9, which is going to give you g to the, that is supposed to be a g, to the 5th power, because you're going to have 5 g's left over in your numerator. So this next set here is a little bit different because you'll see we don't only have one piece up in our numerator. We've got 2 pieces now. So when you're doing these, what you're going to look at it is I'm going to say, okay, let me simplify my numerator first. So I'm going to do y to the 5th times y to the 3rd. So if we go back 2 lessons ago, it's going to say, all right, well, when you have the same base, add your exponents because you have 5 y's and then you've got 3 more y's. So that's going to give you y to the 8th over y to the 1st. So now we're going to say, oh, okay, well, it's y to the 8 minus 1, which is the same thing as y to the 7th. So in number 5, I'm going to do the same concept. I'm going to say, all right, I got 3 3's here, 4 3's here. That's a total of 3 to the 3 plus 4, which is 7, over 3 to the 5th. So 3 to the 7th divided by 3 to the 5th. Take those 5 factors of 3 out, and it's going to give you 3 to the 2nd power, which is going to be 9. So now in these next 2, these last 2 examples for this lesson, we kind of have 2 different ways we can solve this. I want you to take a moment and I want you to pause this video. And I want you to see if you can come up with the 2 different ways to solve this. And then I want you to unpause and I'll show you exactly the 2 ways. So way number 1, what way number 1 says is I'm going to take this and I'm going to look at it as being like this set of factors and this set of factors. And I'm going to use that subtraction property of it. So I'm going to say, okay, this is the same thing as 2 to the 6 minus 2 times 2 to the 5 minus 4. Okay, so I just looked at it almost as columns, as those common factors there. So 2 to the 6 minus 2 is 2 to the 4th times 2 to the 1st, which we know we have to add our exponents. So then that's 2 to the 5th. So that's one way to do it, which is going to give you 32. The second way, so that's the first way. The second way to do this, and this is almost like my preferred way sometimes, is I'm going to say, all right, let me simplify my numerator. Okay, so 2 to the 6th times 2 to the 5th is going to give me 2 to the 11th. And then let me simplify my denominator. 2 to the 2nd times 2 to the 4th is going to give me 2 to the 6th. So now I have 2 to the 11th divided by 2 to the 6th, which is the same thing as 2 to the 11 minus 6, which is going to give you that 2 to the 5th. So you're going to come up with the same answer, which again is 32. You'll come up with the same answer regardless of which way you look at it. So I want you to stop the video, pause the video again, and I want you to do number 7, whichever way you choose. And I'll put the work down for both answers. So here you're going to see the two different ways. In way number 1, I took columns and I basically said x to the 8th divided by x to the 3rd, x to the 6th divided by x to the 4th, and then multiplied my factors together. In way number 2, I basically went through the rows, the numerator and the denominator, simplifying numerator, simplifying denominator, and then dividing. So the takeaway from this lesson is that if you are dividing monomials with the same base, raised to that power, all you have to do is subtract your exponents.